BigBear.ai stock is reaching $4 a share, and these are the highest levels it's reached since back in January of 2023. So, what's driving this enthusiasm for BigBear.ai stock? I'm going to look at the company's latest developments, look at what's driving this stock price increase, and finally answer if I think investors should get on board here and ride this wave higher, or if investors should approach this AI stock with caution and avoid buying this investment right now. So let's take a look at the latest details.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So as I highlighted in the beginning of the video, you can see BigBear.ai stock price $3.77 as of this recording. And that's approaching multi-year highs here, last reached in January of 2023, following several years of flat-ish performance for this investment. Now, if you look at its valuation on a forward price to sales basis, it's trading at a forward price to sales right now of 4.9, which is near multi-year highs. You can see this brief blip higher here in January of 2024, and then again in January of 2023. Then you've got to go all the way back to 2022 when this company had this level of a valuation. So a lot of investor enthusiasm is driving this growth in BigBear.ai's valuation. Let's take a look at the letter from the CEO to shareholders to get a better understanding of the latest development. So the CEO on November 5th, 2024 told investors that their focus is on their mission of creating clarity for the world's most complex decisions by delivering technology and expertise to their customers so that they can take actions faster. So this is an AI decisioning company, and you can understand why investors are comparing this to Palantir and saying that it could be the next Palantir, because this is similar to what Palantir does. It's just Palantir is so much better at doing what they do compared to how good BigBear.ai is at doing what they do. And I'll share with you the latest success and not success for BigBear.ai. So they're delivering solutions that are relevant and solve real customer challenges. And if you solve customer challenges, customers are willing to pay you for that service, depending on the value you provide to those customers. So one of the things they recently implemented during a event is their Conductor operating system that was deployed in a live environment, displaying its mission effectiveness through real-time AI inferences across edge AI devices and third-party technology providers. And so they demonstrated this value. And if you haven't seen the video, I recommend you go check out the video. If you're interested in investing in the stock, you should watch the capabilities of their services and determine if that's something you're interested in investing in. Another success story for BigBear.ai was that the U.S. Army awarded it a 5-year contract for $165 million as the prime contract for GFIM production services. And similar to Palantir, which has had great success with the U.S. military, BigBear.ai is gaining momentum in this space. And Palantir management has discussed that they expect the U.S. military's budget to shift a greater percentage towards software and not so much on hardware, right? The U.S. military budget is massive, over $700 billion annually. Most of that goes for hardware, things like missiles and planes and tanks and warships, etc., right? But what Palantir has been saying all along is that they should be spending more on software because of its importance on the battlefield and defense capabilities. And it's only recently starting to experience an increase in that budget. And so that tailwind could benefit BigBear.ai as it has been benefiting Palantir. So additionally, BigBear.ai announced the successful installation of VeriScan, which is its biometric verification solution at Denver Airport. It's now deployed at 14 departure gates at Denver, and it allows airlines at Denver to reduce boarding times. And that improves the customer experience, and it also improves operations for the airport, which is a win-win solution that the company is willing to pay for to improve those operations. So, despite those recent successes, if you zoom out a little bit with Big Bear AI, the company has not been demonstrating very much growth over recent years. If you look at quarterly revenue going back to third quarter of 2022, they generated 40.6 million in revenue. And if you look to third quarter of 2024, they generated 41.5 million in revenue. And revenue has been around this number, fluctuating a little bit above and a little bit below for these last several quarters without very much growth in this business. And because there isn't growth and the business isn't streamlined for the current level, it's losing money on the bottom line. Net losses have remained above where the company would like them to be for this entire time here. If I share with you this data in a different way, you look at trailing 12-month revenue for Big Bear AI has been relatively flat over recent years, and so has the operating income and the cash flow from operations at a negative level. So flat levels on operating income and cash flow from operations are not necessarily a bad thing in and of itself, but it is a bad thing when these numbers are negative. If it's positive and they're really, really high, then you like that, right? If you're generating $10 billion in profit and cash flow from operations, you don't mind if that number is flat for a long time, right? Because you're making $10 billion every year in cash flow and profit. But when it's negative and it remains negative, then it's a concern, right? Because you're losing 23 million in operating income and cash flow, and 23 million in cash flow from operations and 45 million in operating income in the most recent trailing 12-month period. So these numbers are negative and considerably so. And so you want to see these improving, at least making progress towards profitability, which we haven't really seen with Big Bear AI. Now, one of the reasons, if you're comparing it to Palantir and hoping it's the next Palantir, one of the reasons why Palantir stock has exploded in recent years and recent quarters, most notably in 2024, is because of the company's great progress on profitability. Revenue growth is roughly in line with where it was. Sure, it has accelerated a little bit for Palantir, but what's improved significantly is the profitability and the cash flow from operations. That's what, in my opinion, is driving that stock price increase to ridiculously high levels. It's not the revenue, it's more so the profitability. And you're not really seeing that with Big Bear AI. So to answer the question, do I think Big Bear AI stock is a buy right now and whether investors should jump on board and ride this tailwind higher? I would say no. I would remain cautious on Big Bear AI stock. I updated my recommendation here on December 9th, reiterating my hold rating on Big Bear AI stock. This recent increase in price is more due to enthusiasm rather than tangible evidence of improvement in revenue and profitability. So I would wait to see the benefits of these actions in the company's financials and tangible progress over a sustained period before I would get really excited about Big Bear AI stock. Hey everyone, if you like watching my videos, then I've added a great complimentary product just for you. I've written a book that's available for sale now that highlights my 6-step investing framework. Even if you don't follow that investing framework, just reading it and knowing how I evaluate stocks will make it a lot more interesting and informative to watch my videos. I've added the link in the description below.